Hello, hello, it's Thursday, Stupid Question Day, a regular feature of Live with Lorielle New, where we put on the genius cap, right here, shot in the hat, the genius cap, which allows me to answer any question about any topic in the entire universe with complete accuracy, guaranteed. I have the power of geniosity right here while I'm wearing this cap. Chat in the hat. So take advantage of this once a week opportunity to ask important, well, there's YouTube, ask important questions of the genius. Hello, and let me just say hello to Bill Knaus, who's first today. And David Jones comes in fourth. Hello, everybody. Let me say hi to Allure Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairy's Lover and Lucky Girl and Audrey Yusuf and The Cram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and N1QOV and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Terry Sue and Brett and Wing Doggy and Cosmic Joe and Bootin' Swede. Sue, thank you for checking in. Let me make sure I got everybody. Marcel says, how do I test if my turtle is gay? You know, Marcel, that's the thing. With turtles, it doesn't really matter. Just accept your turtle for whatever he may be. Just give him loving acceptance of whatever turtle sexuality you may have. Hello, Linda. Hello, Sue. And by the way, turtles are not that discriminating. Turtles have bad eyesight. It's probably not that your turtle's gay, but turtles are known to hump a Crocs. They will hump a Crocs shoe. So it's really, they're not that discerning. So you don't have to worry about whether your turtle is gay or not. Just whether it's alive. Yeah, that is true. There are, if for anyone who's wondering, there are YouTube videos of turtles humping a Crocs shoe. They have very bad eyesight, apparently. So, hello. Let me make sure I got everybody here. It's Stupid Question Day. Hello, everybody. How's your day? It's a nice, warm, beautiful, sunny day in California. Again, I hate to rub it in, but I can't help it. I hope everyone is feeling good. How are you all doing today? And who has a question for the genius? Marcel says, is there a spell to become a mermaid that actually works? No, there is not, Marcel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. And really, being a mermaid is not as glamorous as you may think. It's really not, Marcel. If you're really in dire, desperate need to get your mermaid fix on, you can rent a mermaid tail and go in your swimming pool. But I think you'll find out that it's only good for an hour or two of enjoyment, and then you really do want to put your legs back on. David Jones says, I thought manatees were the real mermaids. Manatees are the real mermaids the same way Crocs are real turtles. You gotta have really bad eyesight and squint to make that comparison. David Jones is actually a snapping turtle. Who's wearing Crocs? They got so many holes. Which one do I pick? What? Marcel says, what is... I don't know, there's some sort of honking standoff outside. Yeah, Marcel says he swallowed an ice cube. Marcel, you will be fine. Here's a clue. Ice cubes melt. It's turned into water. Yeah, there is a honking battle outside. Linda says, why do most people at my place who are older than me hate and or don't want computers? Because, Allura, they're afraid of new things and change, and they don't want to learn. They're stuck in their ways. Allura, it is a compliment to you that you have continued to embrace learning and embrace living in the world and technology and staying up to date. Yes. I'm sure some of you know relatives or older people who don't want to learn a computer or a cell phone or even an answering machine, Grandma. Just get an answering machine. David Jones says his mother said, yeah, not all older people are like that. But it's a choice, Linda, to stay current and up to date and aware of the world. Like, Allura, you know a lot about pop culture. I bet there is a lot, because you're on the internet and you read news and stuff, I bet there's a lot of people that live where you do that don't know anything about all the different TV shows and movies and pop culture and whatever's going on in the news, all the ridiculousness. Yeah, see, Allura, you're staying in touch. You're staying. David Jones says, I don't like pop culture. The bubbles tickle my nose. Ha. They only call it pop in the Midwest. It's soda. It's soda, you fools. Marcel says, I did teach some elderly people computers. They're horrible students. Marcel, that's because they have problems with the memory. Learning and memory is something that declines with age, especially if you don't use it. The more you use your brain, the more it stays healthy and younger and active and able to think and function. If you don't use it, it starts to degenerate because it's like a muscle. All those things, all the synapses and stuff have to keep moving and working to stay viable. If they're not being used, they start to like break down and the brain goes and does something else with its energy. Linda says, yeah. She says, hey, guess what, guys? Today is so-and-so's birthday. And all of her friends where she lives say, who? Who the hell is that? It's soda. It's not pop. A Wing Doggy has a joke. Wing Doggy says, a stoner stumbles out of a party and starts to walk home. On the way, he bumps into a guy who's all bloody and mangled. The guy limps up to the stoner and says, "Can you call me an ambulance?" So the stoner looks at him for a second and smiles. "Sure, you're an ambulance." Ah ha ha. Marcel says when he was trying to teach the elderly computers, he said they would ask for something, make a request for something, and he say, well, that technically that is not that is impossible based on the technology. And he says they would still say, but I want it. I want a magic unicorn. I want a magic unicorn. Please, computer, make me a magic unicorn. Okay, you're a magic unicorn. Ah. Linda says they don't even care about older stars like Paul McCartney. That's because they have lost part of their brain already, Linda. Wing Doggy says there were two ships. One had red paint, one had blue paint, and they collided. At last report, the survivors were marooned. Ah! Oh, sorry. Google, stop being unfriendly. Sue is having trouble. Google Hangouts has kicked her out. I am sorry, Sue. Google Hangouts is a pain in the butt sometimes. It works without me doing anything. Sometimes just on its own kicks people out for no reason. Marcel says, what happens if you polish your teeth white with nail polish? Well, they won't actually look white like teeth. They will look like teeth with white paint on them. And then it will start to peel. Yeah, and I do believe, Marcel, in case you're actually considering this, that the nail polish is not meant to be digested. There are chemicals in there, things not good for you. Marcel says, how do you know that? Just a lucky guess. Yes, Linda says, read the label. Yes. Now, in this day of increasing liability, nail polish manufacturers are obliged to write safety warnings such as, do not drink. Do not put in mouth. Hazardous to ingest. Do not put in butt. Wait, what? Is that a thing now? It's Stupid Question Day, where I, the genius, am giving answers, completely true answers to whatever your questions are, guaranteed. The genius it is in, with the magic power of the chat in the hat. Magic power of the chat in the hat. So, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh, I just read something in the news that made me kind of angry. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. Marcel says, do you think NASA invented thunderstorms to cover up the sound of space battles? No. That is an urban legend. Thunderstorms existed way before NASA. And I just read something in the news that should make all of you very angry. and I'm assuming it's true, that the Iran government has said right now Iran and President Obama have been negotiating, trading back prisoners. They've been negotiating prisoner exchanges. They have some Americans there being held. We have some of their guys. So we're trying to, he's trying to free these Americans, and they're negotiating. The Iran government released information today that said they were contacted by the GOP, the Republicans, outside, without the knowledge of the president or anyone in government, contacted directly by the Republicans and asked by the Republicans to delay the release of the American citizens and the prisoner exchange until the day of the election. They are trying, which would be, if that is true, I think that would be illegal. And that is what happened to Carter, President Carter. This isn't the first time this has happened. But, yeah, trying to delay the release of prisoners for political gain and to make themselves look good, but keeping people in prison, Americans in prison, for their own political, yeah. That's, yeah. In fact, that is, it's already on record that that's what happened. I don't know if any of you, back in the olden days, there was the Iranian government fell and was taken over by the Shah, and they took over the embassy, and there was like 180 people that were in the embassy there that were. No, this is released by the Iran government, Linda, and this has actually happened in the past when the Iran government fell and the Shah took over the embassy. There were about 180 people or something like that, 200 people being held hostage. Ben Affleck was actually in a movie about that like a year or so ago. But they were taken hostage and held for like 180 days while Jimmy Carter was president. And Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan were competing for the president. And the day of the election, when Ronald Reagan won, the prisoners were released. We found out later that it was negotiated with the Republicans, that the Republicans would supply them with guns if they released the prisoners on the day of the election. So that would be kind of treasonous to be making it. I believe it is treasonous to make deals with a foreign government outside of the government. If the Republicans on their own went and made a deal, and a deal working against, to sabotage the government by making a deal with another guy to sabotage the U.S. government, that's a kind of the definition of treason. So this could blow up to be a big story. I just read this today, so I don't know if like all the details. I'm sure more will be coming out, but this could be a really big deal and a really bad thing. So we'll see what happens, what more things come out. Wing Doggy says today is Tina Louise Ginger from Gilligan's Island birthday, and it also is, I believe it is Jennifer Aniston's birthday, if any of you care. I can already tell you that nobody in Linda's building cares. This wasn't in The Onion, David Jones. I don't read The Onion. No, well, it's tricky because now this was actually from real news sites, but there's so many now. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's a lot of parody news sites like The Onion, but there's a lot of them that make stories that are almost real, but then they add a whole bunch of other stuff. And so many people, unless you go onto that whatever website's their homepage and read about us, on the bottom it'll say this is a satire website, not everything is true. But they don't say it in front of every article. You have to go to like the company like about us description of what the website's about, where it says we're a satire site. But so many people on Facebook read these things that say something crazy that, like, you know, is almost true or takes a little bit of truth and then like makes it crazy, and then they start repeating that on Facebook, and all of a sudden you see it like retweeted and repeated, and you're like, and then everybody's like, that's a satire site, you dumbass. Oh, just to remind you guys, I will not be here tomorrow. No show tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday. Tisa says, do Scottish Terriers get Scottish tapeworms? Yes, Tisa, unless they travel to another country, then they would get English tapeworms or French tapeworms or Welsh tapeworms. So yes, while they're in Scotland, they get Scottish tapeworms. Tisa says, do vegetarians eat animal crackers? Tisa, vegetarians don't eat junk food. Animal crackers are made from unbleached, from bleached processed flour. Of course they don't eat those. Tisa says, do witches run spell checkers? No, they don't. In fact, witches are extremely poor spellers and often make glaring errors in the spells they cast. Oops! My bad! Sorry, oopsies! Try that again. Marcel says, if you had a third nipple, where would you want it to be? Right in the middle of my forehead. No! On my hand! Excuse me! Gisa says, do you need a silencer if you're going to shoot a mine? Yes, because the silencer is for the gun, not the mine. David Jones says, if you were given a cake, how many candles would there be on it? One. Marcel says, if you were a bird and could fly, who would you poo on? Who costs... oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine the vision. Imagine human-sized birds flying with human-sized poo dropping on your car. Thank goodness birds are small. Oh, good, Allura. That's good to hear. Good news. Tista says, do you think when they asked George Washington for ID that he just whipped out a quarter? No. Quarters weren't invented yet. Marcel says, imagine that you are a magical whale that's been turned into a kitchen appliance. Do you still like the color orange? What the hell? What kind of nonsensical question is that? Marcel wins the prize for Stupid Question Day. Okay, you're a magical whale who has now become a kitchen appliance. You're a whale blender. You still like the color orange? No, I don't. I never like the color orange. Washes me out. Just because I'm a blender doesn't mean I've changed my opinion about anything. Does a man-eating shark eat women too? No. Marcel says, it's a stupid question. I said, well, you got a stupid answer back for it, Marcel. You win. Marcel wins. David Jones says, did you walk to work or bring your lunch? Wait, what? What? And we've got another contender for stupid question. Marcel said, how would human life be different if crocodiles could fly? It would be like Sharknado. Flying crocodile! Crocodile Dundee would have a jetpack. Hey, crikey, they're flying in at us. There's a whole squad. Marcel says, exactly how much licking could the Energizer Bunny take before it doesn't keep on ticking? Marcel wants to know just because he's recently gotten an Energizer Bunny, and he's just, they can't wait to start licking. What? What? What's wrong with you, you twisted bunny licker? Leave that poor bunny alone. Stop. Put the bunny down. Put the bunny down. A bear and a rabbit are in the woods. And the bear turns to the rabbit and says, Mr. Rabbit, do you have a problem with poo sticking to your fur? And the rabbit says, no. No, I do not. So the bear wipes his ass with the rabbit. Ah! Well, thank you, Wing Doggy. Good to see you. Step away from the bunny. Tisa says, have you ever imagined a world with no hypothetical situations? What? That's a riddle wrapped in enigma, wrapped in wordplay. Get your hands off my bunny. Hey, St. Clinton. St. Clinton says, genius, my butt. The USA started producing quarters before George Washington died. Okay, technicality, but he was alive for a long time before the quarters. Thanks, St. Clinton. Yes, the first quarter with George Washington's likeness on it was made in 1796, and Washington died in 1799. For 3 years, at the end of Washington's life, he actually could say, Here, you need ID, but by that time he didn't look like his picture because by that time he was very old. Yes, for the last 3 years of his life, he could use a quarter as an ID. Thank you for that trivia, St. Clinton. That is interesting to know. How cool would that be? Hey. And why didn't he push for a larger bill? Why did he want to be in the quarter? Could have gone for, you know, bigger bill. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, it's already 5:50. How did that happen? So, yeah, so I am just about to end, but I just remind you I will not be here tomorrow. There's no show on Friday, so I will see you guys back on Monday. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Alert Alert Star. Oh, and St. Clinton says, and he wasn't on the first quarter. Well, there you go, St. Clinton. What's your point? Let me say goodbye. Allure Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairy Lover and Sue and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and N1QOV and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Terry Sue and Brett and Cosmic Joe and Boot and Swede. Thank you for checking. And Wing Doggy. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oops, that's the wrong. That didn't work. All right. Kisses for everybody. I love you. Have a great weekend. And have an awesome Valentine's Day on Sunday. You better get me a present. Who's sending me presents? Bye. I love you. I love you. Bye. Yes, all girls have just said, I want a present. Bye. And I'm sorry for those of you who live in Michigan. Yes, it is true. This may be your last chance. They are trying to make blowjobs illegal. Last chance in Michigan. Last Valentine's Day. Bye.